So, the beginning of the second video technically, I'm going to be reviewing a book immediately. This is right after I filmed the first video, so it's the exact same thing. The first book that I've got out, one of the first books that I read from Stephen King, I've got Joyland. Beautiful glare in my amazing spotlight. But Joyland is a book written by Stephen King in 2013, I believe. 2013 should be right. It's a very recent book. A lot of people have gotten to it. It says he finished writing it in 2012, and it is published in 2013. And it's about 280 pages. So this is a relatively short book. It doesn't have chapters. It's instead got heart stuff like that. It's just a mini heart. And it's a story about a boy who goes and is going through life and decides to work at Joyland, an amusement park. And while he's there, there's a big murder mystery, and it's it's already been thrown away 5 years ago, but he gets involved with one of his friends, and they try to go on and solve it, or just try to dabble in it just to see what's up. And then they find out the big secret of who this person is, and that's the end of the story. So, as you can see, it's a very short plot if I just say it out loud like that. Of course, there's side stories, but this is the main story, and it's made to be a thriller, so that makes sense. It's a short story, very interesting story. I read it in 2 days, probably 8 hours total, something like that. Something short, maybe 5 to 8 hours. Very easy read, very simple language. It's perfect, very easy beginner one. It's written in first person. I'm not a fan of first person books, but this one makes a lot of sense. So I get this one. This one works really well. It's I would rate it overall. The plot itself, I would rate it 3 out of 5. The plot, it was about the murder mystery, but I think that the initial escalation of the story, that was amazing. That gets a 5 out of 5. But at the end, there's an escalation towards the main climax, and I don't think that was built up as well as it could. King went through the entire story talking about his life, which is great. It was very interesting, and then he immediately went into the climax with little escalation, and I didn't like that much. I like a Stephen King book. It's really escalates it well. It's a lot of tension and stuff like that that builds the book up before he ends it off and creates the amazing climax, which he did not do that well here. The climax itself, very interesting, very good. I did not see it coming. It was unexpected. Worked out really well. I just don't like the interaction between the two parts. I don't think that worked out very well. The main character, his name is Devin. He was a very three-dimensional character. You learned a lot about him, about his past life, his dad, his mom, all of the people that are around him, and his schools, and all that kind of stuff. He's a very fleshed-out character, incredibly interesting, and I think that he's probably one of the best King characters I've ever read. This is one of the few books, I think the only book I've read from him so far, that's first person. And because of that, I'm biased to say that I know a lot about him. If you gave me a scenario, I would have been able to pick it out for you, pick out what he'd do, which is perfect, which is exactly what you want in a story. So no complaints in the character. The main character talks about a lot of things during his life. The story is written from the perspective of this main character when he's 60 years old and looking back on his life as a 16-year-old and this giant murder plot he unveiled. And I think that was an interesting thing that he did. I wouldn't have gone about it that way. That's a very interesting way to put it. And I think that it worked out really well. It definitely showed because it was the reflection of it. It wasn't third person limited where he wasn't thinking these things. It's odd, but the entire book is his thoughts. There's no omnipotent person that's talking about him. It's very him, and you can tell that during the story, which is amazing. I really love that. So again, I rate this 3 out of 5. Very short, easy book to read, easy for a beginner to King's work, and therefore it's good. This is the 5th book I read. Really, really good. Soon I'm gonna be reviewing some other books that I've got up there, and Thank you guys for watching. If you'd like to see more, subscribe. I don't know, I'm just putting these videos up for anybody who'd like to know my thoughts on Joyland, any of my friends, anybody on the internet that'd like to know. Why not? This is an easy video to make, and it's really awesome to just show my thoughts. So, thank you guys for watching. Subscribe. See you. Bye.